Bring it on. Want some, get some. Can I get a hell yeah? Yes, I am a pirate. You have to go with the pirates because, of course, they have cannons and everything.
It's a pirate's life for me.
Be proud of who you are and what you are. You're pirates.
It is a first down. Pirates.
Because when you're at East Carolina, you go for it every time. Or you don't coach at East Carolina, you don't come to East Carolina, you don't play at East Carolina with a weak heart. Write it.
I don't think I've ever been in a building as loud as that was. It was deafening in there.
We will get them on. I can promise you that.
Painted purple all night long in Eastern North Carolina.
You're watching The Sports Objective, the podcast for Pirates.
Yeah. My heart is purple and gold. I'm a pirate down to my soul. And I don't back down, not at all. Find out when the cannons explode.
All right, welcome into TSO Sunday nights as we're going to have another great show. We had a great show last week with Vincent Chapman, the dancing umpire for the Savannah Bananas. But I tell you what, we got another great show ahead. I can't wait. With us right now, all the way from the big city of Ayden, Coach Paul Hill. How are you?
What's up, guys? Ready to talk a little football?
No doubt about that. And with us also from the great town and city of Ayden, right outside of Ayden at the pecan farm, Landis Wilson. How are you?
How y'all doing? Good to see you.
No doubt. Here, y'all. All right. And I believe, Phoenix, you live in Greenville, right?
I do.
Phoenix Evans, of course, former ECU football player. Very excited to have him on. We're going to be talking what you're up to now. We've had it's been a minute since we had you on, but want to have you back on. I know you've got a big camp. Really excited for you in a couple weeks, and we want to make sure that we get hundreds and hundreds of kids. Well, actually, I don't know how many kids you want to have, but let me back up a second. Maybe tens and tens of kids. I just scared him there, Paul.
Hey, tell him, Phoenix, you can handle whatever comes out at you.
Whatever comes out, I can handle.
So it'd be a good problem to have, right, Phoenix? If we have
great problem.
Yeah, my son actually, I was telling you guys off air, he actually is going to be able to play middle school football. Very excited about that with Coach Floyd and Williamston and at Riverside Middle School, and so excited for him because he's been waiting a couple years to be able to play for Coach Floyd. So looking forward to that. But I was hoping he'd be able to come to the camp. Maybe there's some way we can figure that out. I'll talk to his mom. He'll be with his mom that week. So
okay,
we can maybe they're only about 25 or 30 minutes from you, Phoenix. So maybe that way we can make that happen. But he loves football. It's really cool because for a kid that's very laid back, he said last year when we were playing rec football, he said, "Dad, I can't ready to put on the pad so I can hit somebody."
That's a great thing to hear.
Yeah,
no doubt. Especially if you know his personality, you're like, "There's no way that kid's a football player." But he plays on the line, tight end, and he also plays linebacker on defense. So he played both ways. But the show's not about him. Obviously, it's about Phoenix Evans tonight. If you put your comments and questions, if you have that for Phoenix, always good. Pirates supporting Pirates. We want to help him out and get as many kids as we can to the camp. And Coach, help me out. Is that at South Central? Am I reading?
Yeah, that is
South Central. Yep.
Okay. So maybe there's some. Let me ask you this, Coach. Maybe there's some teams from the area. They want to bring their team out. Do they just get in contact with you? Is that the best way?
Yeah, that'd be the best way to get in contact with me. My number is also on the flyer. They can reach out to me on the flyer or Facebook, email. It don't matter. Whenever you want to reach out to me, my contact information is on the flyer. All
right, that would be great. Let's get a lot of teams out there for Coach. And I know, is Coach Hill helping you out this year?
Oh, yeah. Coach Hill is definitely helping me out. Coach Hill is actually, when I first started the camp, he was also there helping me out. So look forward to Coach Hill and what he brings to the table.
Do you have like a one-on-one there where you can tackle him?
I don't think he will want me to tackle him.
I think you should do that. You have to see my speed.
So I saw this TikTok video was crazy about like these guys that were not paying their child support, and this big dude, he actually had to have played football, but he found who they were, found out where they were, and like they would be at a store or at their house, and he would just go up and just level them. I mean,
that's funny.
Kid, and it was like I was like, I'm laughing really hard. I was like, I don't know if I feel guilty. Should I feel guilty about laughing at it? But it was, I guess it was so shocking. But I was like, I wonder if that guy could come teach our kids how to tackle. Man, he was spot on.
I think I've seen that too.
I think I've seen it as well.
Yeah, but anyway, so Coach, tell us about the camp and what people can expect. Those that are there that want, maybe they've got a son or grandson, nephew who may be playing football. I see it's ages 6 to 14 on the flyer, so that'll be first grade to about 8th grade.
That's correct. That's correct. So a little bit about the camp. Again, it's my second year with the camp, but it's catered to girls and boys because girls are now playing flag football in the area. They are well accustomed to the game of football now. You're going to have some college guys out there working them out. You're going to have some high school seniors, females and males that's going to be participating, help the younger kids out. You're going to have some college players who I play with, who play with me with some of my teammates are also going to be out there helping me out as well, going through the drills. Also going to have some guys that's playing now that's going to at least come out there to talk to them and just tell them, talk about their experiences and their life, how they got to where they're at. So it's basically geared to teaching the game of football, or also teaching about the game of life as well.
And Coach, is it true? A rumor I heard that Tom Brady's coming.
That would be a rumor. That would definitely be a rumor.
I'm gonna have to get Coach. He told me that. Sorry, Coach. No, Tom Brady.
Still knows Tom Brady.
Nah. Hey, Phoenix, before I forget, that young man that had that incredible story, Kent, from Farmville?
Yeah, from Farmville, yes.
Not to get off the subject, but his story and testimony that year was off the chain, how he got to where he was getting.
And you know what? Kent may come out there. Kent is back in town, so he probably will come out there to my camp. I just got to reach out to him. But Kent definitely has a great testimony. I don't know if you guys know him, but Kent actually had a stroke. Was playing football, not playing football at the time he did it, but just had a stroke. Big young guy, healthy, but just had a stroke. Couldn't walk. Had to be rehabilitated. Had to learn how to walk again and all that. And by the football season, he was able to, I guess, get a contract with a team overseas, and he played well. And he's still actually playing now. So,
yeah, great young man. I just wanted to bring that up, Phoenix. A shout out to him. And these coaches that you get, they come from all walks of life, and they bring something different to the table. Every one of the coaches that I met, and I'm very honored to be part of it again with you, your second year, and it's fun. And that's another thing I can embrace on your camp. It's a lot of fun. We work them hard. They do get breaks. But we work them hard, and we want them to be able to take something away from it, in those 3 days.
No doubt, and Coach Evans, and also say Coach Hill and Coach Wilson. When you win the ball games now, when you got to put the work in, and I think that's one thing that with the new generation. I don't want to sound like the 80-year-old guy, but they see SportsCenter or they see TikTok videos or YouTube videos, and they think that they can just put 20 or 30 minutes in or a couple hours a week, and they don't understand the hard work behind the scenes that make those players, no matter what the sport is, so good.
Most definitely. You definitely got to work. Anything you're going to be good at has got to be work put in. So correct. You're right. You can't just definitely see a video and think you're going to be doing what that guy's doing, because that guy's probably put in tons and tons of work with where they're at.
No doubt. And I know with, for example, Coach Hill, when you do, he works out my son when baseball. We're getting ready to get that crank back up in probably early July. It looks like, because they're camps and stuff. But with the stretching and all the stuff that Coach does and works, and I know you do too. Obviously, Phoenix being a coach, but I think that's the one thing is that another thing I would say to parents: make sure that you're getting with people that know how to really work out your kid and really takes the time to teach them great, qualities, great work ethic, on a regiment where they're doing proper things. Because I was telling my son, make sure you're hydrated and make sure that you do what Coach Hill tells you, because that will help you. You're going to get banged up in football and different sports. You're going to get nicked up. But as far as the really bad injuries, you can at least try to prevent that from happening, right?
Oh yeah. Definitely stretching and taking care of your body can prevent injuries. I mean, can't stop an injury, but prevent one. So,
hey Phoenix, what else do the campers out there listening and parents they need to bring for your camp? What do they need to show up with that afternoon?
And what not to bring.
And what not to bring, correct.
Well, they just need to show up with some tennis shoes, some cleats, like just in case if it rains, we can go into the gym. So a tennis shoe or cleats, some workout clothes, their personal water bottle. We will have water coolers or probably water bottles as well. But if they want to just drink out of their own personal water bottle, make sure they bring their personal water bottle. But that's about it. That's all they really need. We're going to take care of everything else. Like I said, we're going to make sure they're hydrated. We're going to make sure they got fruit and everything out there the 3 days. Also, like I was telling Coach Hill, we're going to also have following the last day of camp, a little competition where we're going to probably play some flag football and the mix between the 6 and 10-year-olds that's out there. They're going to play against each other. Then the 11 and 14-year-olds is going to play on the other side of the field. And then we're going to follow up behind a cookout. So, I just want to get back to the community, want to make sure the kids are having fun and competing as well, and also working hard. So
that's great. And I know that with us, we have a lot of good football in the area, and it looks like football is really growing. And thankfully, we got over the COVID period, which was really tough. So it looks like there's a lot of, I would say, Coach and Coach Evans, obviously, too, Phoenix and Paul. There are a lot of kids right now playing rec ball. One of the things that I want to stress to the families, I hear all the time, and I just want to get y'all's opinion on it. And Landis, I'll throw you in as well. The parents say, "Oh, I want to wait till my son is, older to play football." And I tell them, you need to start now. You need to start when they're younger. My son, football, he didn't start playing until he was 9. But he already has, 9, 10, 11, 3 years already. This is his 4th year playing football at age 12. So he already has 4 seasons. I wish he had started at 7. But I'm glad that he started as young as he did. I told him, I said, "Are you sure you want to play it?" He said, "Yes." But I highly stress to the folks, get your kids in there so they can learn the fundamentals. They can learn the right way to play the game and not be so far behind. You wait to 12, 14 years old, it might be too late.
Yeah, I mean, with parents now, they kind of, some of them, and I get it, some of them kind of scared of concussions. It's a big thing on concussions and CTE. So some parents is, want to make sure that their kids' body is developed. But like you did say, it is early to start them out young to see if they're, they're getting the fundamentals down. Also if they even like the sport. Because like I said, they might take their own selves out and say, "Mom or Dad, this is not something I want to do," but it gives them another, insight on the game. So therefore, starting them early is great, but I also can see the picture of a parent saying, "I want to wait because I don't think my son or daughter may have the body for it, or may have the mental piece for it." Like I said, it's mental and it's physical as well. So.
I feel like the earlier you start,
what do you think, Landis?
You might get, the fundamentals down, how to tackle, the proper way to do it, rather than maybe jumping in at 15, 16 with somebody who's been doing it for 6, 7 years and just get rocked because you don't know the proper way to run or proper way to to protect yourself.
Exactly.
I had a kid. I had to teach my son. He got a little banged up, and what it was is he was trying to make a tackle be like hero. So he extended his body and jumped out, and the poor kid was running and ran into him and got him like on his side, like the cleat did. And I told him, I said, "Hey, I appreciate the fact that you care about the sport, but that was a risky thing. You could got hurt a lot worse than you did. You need to know how to be aggressive, yes, but at the same time, you can't be doing things like that where you could have gotten a real serious injury. The way that he did that, and it's just simply by he didn't game speed. He didn't play in defense. He was first year, But the great thing about it is, I can tell you one thing to you coaches, he hasn't done that again.
Well, just like y'all were talking about, it's the mental and the physical. You don't have to be the fastest guy. You don't have to be the biggest guy or girl to be successful in football, whether it's flag football or, guys, football teams and stuff. Don't get me wrong, size matters at times and positions, and speed does too. But there's so many different positions on the football team
Correct.
that you can find a spot for your mentality and size. And you got to remember, these are 6 to 14. They're going to grow a lot before we get to high school. But as everybody's talked about tonight, they'll learn the basic fundamentals, get some great experience, meet some good, other football players around the area, team up with them, then they start doing workouts. And it's all linked to, football camps like Coach Evans was putting on right here in our backyard. And he also teaches proper ways of when you get tackled or hit to fall down and not just fall down and get hurt.
Right.
I mean, there are ways of falling down, and falling down on your shoulder and stuff. Another thing, Phoenix, while I'm thinking about it, let these parents know that they won't have pads and helmets, and it's light football workouts, as they call it, or if you want to hit on that a little bit more.
It's more conditioning.
Yeah. Definitely no physical contact. We're going to try to avoid that as much as possible. Hopefully, no kid run into each other. Like I said, I can't say we can prevent it, but I know we're not tackling. We're not pulling people down to the ground. We're not, physically hands-on contact. We're not doing any of that. Just basically, footwork, fundamentals. Again, some of the kids that may come may never play football, so we want to make sure they learn the fundamentals. So that's what we're basically teaching. So it's not nothing physical. Like I said, the competition with the flag football games that Saturday, like I said, is just like almost a two-hand touch, or you just pulling the flag. But we're going to try to avoid all physical contact as much as possible.
And Coach, that's a very important thing too, is that when you do all these camps, and even the great thing I love about these camps is that another thing that I wanted to mention is it doesn't matter your skill set. You could be brand new to football, or you could be a kid like I was talking about. My son has played his 4th year. It might be a handful of years these kids have played, maybe 6 years they've played, whatever. But the great thing about it, come to this camp, and you definitely will pick up some, as Coach Hill would say, you're going to pick up something that you can take with you and to keep working on. And maybe, like it's Coach, Phoenix here, he's going to teach you something. Coach Hill, there on the staff, he's going to teach you something. And so you start piecing things together so that you don't wait until the actual tryouts. This is a great way to get yourself in shape. And I can't say it enough. Please hydrate. Please, like we talked about, stretch, even if you're not there at the camp. Work yourself out. That's one of the things that drives me crazy. Is there players that we talked about that off the air? It's, coaches, we were talking about how you cannot wait until you have practice. You need to be individually working out on things. Then everybody comes together. Then you have your role that you've got to work on and perfect. But there's a lot of moving parts, right? And Coach Evans, Coach Hill, Coach Wilson, myself, we don't have time to try to work you out or to make you better. That's where the Coach Evans, that's where the Coach Hills of the world, the Landis Wilsons of the world come in, where they can help you individually and I'm not trying to give y'all all a shameless plug, but just know that the only way you're going to get better is taking yourself on. It doesn't matter what you're doing in life. And I'm really excited. The other thing I want to say, Phoenix, is I love the fact, is that early bird special still going on, only $60 per player?
Yeah, that's still going on.
That is let me tell you something. That is a really good
That's
deal.
amazing.
Yeah,
That is a really good deal because you're getting, 3 days worth of camp. That might cost you a few $100s or more. And Coach is doing this, like he was talking about, giving back to the community, only $60 per camper. I mean, come on, if you're working class or middle class, you can afford that. You can certainly afford that. So I wanted to tell you, Coach, that to commend you on that, because there's other camps, not to say they don't know what they're doing, but you can pay a lot of money, and where you can pay $60 local and in the Greenville area, that's tough to beat, man. That's tough to beat.
And I will say this too, to add, Dave, for Phoenix, a lot of these coaches are educators. And I'm not saying educators are the best coaches either. But my saying in teaching and coaching, if a player or student is not learning the way you teach or coach, then teach or coach the way they can learn. And I've known Phoenix ever since he started over at CMFs. I've known Landis since he started at Grifton. I can personally say these young guys, they're younger than me, Dave. They're great people. They're giving back. I call them my dear friends. And, of course, Dave, I mean, if you can find time to come out there, help out. Coach Evans gets a good crew out there. It's niche. Nobody's trying to outdo somebody. It's for the kids. It's a blast. He's asked me to come back. If he didn't, I still show up. No, he does a great job. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Phoenix, the guy right above you is willing to come out too. That guy right above you.
And Landis Wilson, I definitely appreciate it, Landis. Definitely appreciate it. Yes, sir.
Hey, Coach, do you need a water boy? I make some good water.
Come on out. Come on out.
You'll have a great time, I promise you.
And also, I guess if you do have like any intentions of playing college as a kid, I feel like this would be a good way just to get some eyes on you, get some exposure. You know,
absolutely.
Some guys out there that played, that played college and pro level there, I reckon.
And you got Coach Evans and some other guys on the staff that have played at higher levels than just high school.
Yeah.
And you can pick their brain and ask them, how did you do it, Coach? How did you get there? How did you stay in it? And it's a great way of not trying to reinvent the wheel, but to add to the wheel and not take shortcuts by no means. I'm not saying that. You still got to bust your tail, but you got an opportunity to ask somebody that's done it. Phoenix Evans, was at East Carolina and Steve Logan. And Steve Logan is not an easy person to be coached by. Great coach. But maybe you want to hit on that a little bit too, Phoenix.
I mean, yes, Coach Logan was a very detailed coach. You was not going to sugarcoat it. You was definitely not going to go in there and just give him 80%. He wanted 110% out of you every day. That was in different each season: fall, winter, spring, summer. So therefore, we all know football is not just one season or just in the fall. It's a year-round sport. So like David was saying, if you want to be great at it, you got to work your tail off without coaches in front of you. You got to do something. You can't just please a coach. You got to go out and do what you need to do at your house, in your back of your house or in your backyard, and then bring all that to the table when you are in front of a coach. So again, playing college football is definitely a job. It's definitely something that I love doing. I'd do it again if I had the opportunity to. But everybody don't get to go play college football, and that's great too. They might go on something else that they're comfortable in. But you would know a player that wants to play college football. It'll stick out. I mean, if you've coached this game a long time, you can tell the guys that's going to probably go play some college ball. And then most importantly, it's your grades. I always tell my students who I'm coaching is, if you want to go somewhere, you got to make sure you do it in the classroom first. And you do it in the classroom, you can definitely do it out here on the football field. Responsibility. I mean, holding yourself accountable, being responsible, take you a long way.
And Coach, I know that I want to let everybody know that does not know, if you want to be a Division I player at the college level, you need to have at least 80 or better. And I would say you need to probably have 85 or 90 to be. But the bottom line, the bottom of the barrel to just get noticed or just get a chance at Division I, if you have the talent, is an 80. And they're on the 10-point scale. I wish I was on the 10-point scale. We had a 7-point scale, but
we had a 7.2. And you're right about that, David. The first thing a scout is going to come in, they might see a great athlete, but the first thing a scout is going to come into a school and going to say, can we see his transcripts?
Yep.
And if your transcripts is horrible, they're going to go on to the next guy. So,
yeah,
they weed you out real quick from the start, and it's not being ugly.
No,
because you hear all the time parents say, keep your grades up. Coaches, community people, how are your grades? I ask before you even work out, how's your grades today? How was school? And then I say, ask me how my day was. I was at school too.
Yeah, Paul hasn't learned how to get out of school.
I'm still trying to graduate.
After 40 years, you think he would know better.
I haven't given up though.
Well, you have hope. It's like Billy Madison.
I believe.
Going back to school. But no, you're seriously, like I tell these guys all the time, and I tell my son, I lost. What happened there? We lost some folks.
You deleted us.
No, I didn't actually. I was playing around. There we go.
You're being selfish.
No, not me.
That was my fault. I don't know what happened there. That was me. My bad.
Okay.
All right, Landis, you're being biased.
Yeah. No, but the funny thing is when people, I tell my son all the time, you have high goals. He has high goals, as coach knows, and he wants to, for example, in baseball, he wants to be a pitcher. Well, if you hang out with the wrong guys, they can bring you right down. And guess what? They don't care because they don't have the same lofty goals you do. And we were talking about being selfish earlier, but being selfish. Well, I explained to him in the summertime, he has Coach Hill. He's got basketball. He has football workouts, both basketball and football workouts at the school. That's what's going to make you better. And, I can't say that enough about that, but stay away from the kids. I said, by now, you know who the kids are that are in trouble. I don't mean that to be mad, but the kids that are that don't have your best interests at heart. And
we just got to look at it like this. I hate cut you off, Dave. We just got to look at it like this. Is if they're not doing what you're doing, if the students not doing what you're doing, or training or working out at the school during the summer, or getting extra lifting in or extra stretching, then therefore that's not the student or the friend that you may say that's your friend to be hanging around with. You're trying to go somewhere. That friend that is doing the same thing you're doing is trying to go somewhere. So those are the type of people you want to associate yourself with. So therefore, you're all right about that.
Hey, Dave, I'll say something else too while we're talking about this. Grades are number one by far because they'll put a mark right through you. I did the college and recruiting, and we had our guidelines. First thing I asked, if they didn't, I said, look, I'm sorry, but we maintain and we expect this grade point average. You don't fit the criteria. He's a junior. I'll see you next year. I'll recheck with you. And that's how it goes. The other thing is we didn't have to worry about this, Dave and I, maybe Phoenix and Landis, is social media.
Correct.
Keep your nose clean.
Yes.
They check that. And then they'll ask about your football skills. Yeah, those are the way it goes, fellas.
Yeah, I didn't have to worry about that. I was at the beginning of the internet.
Well,
literally when I was graduating is when the internet's.
I still had those things where you put the little thing in there and you rotate it and it.
You have to check your Polaroid.
I still got a few flashes that I can put on there.
All right.
I think I was coming into MySpace, so
yeah. There you go.
I'm 506, so it was like Facebook just started.
So
we got a good generation right here. That's good.
Yeah, but one thing is true is the hard work in the classroom and the hard work on the field or the court hey, it doesn't matter what year it is. Yes, there's more challenges as far as the 1,000%. I agree with you, Coach, on that with social media and keeping your nose clean.
Because they check that. They do check that.
Yeah, we probably should get more coaches on and devote a show to this. I didn't even think about when we were planning this show. I didn't think about a lot of the stuff, good topics we're talking about.
We'll get that going, Dave.
Yeah, no doubt. We can do that this summer before the season starts. But Coach Evans, I want to ask you about. I'm going to put you on the spot here about ECU. We went to a bowl this past year. Just want to get your thoughts, being a former player. I've told a lot of people whenever we were going through the tough times last year and even the Scotty Moe years, how hard it must be being a former player, knowing that we're at a level that we were not meeting and we're not playing Pirate football. When you think about the Phoenix Sevens of the world, a lot of the guys that put the blood, the sweat, the tears in 2 days, 3 days. Back in the Pat Dyer, they had 4 days. So I can't imagine that. But anyway, I just can't imagine, what you guys go through as a former player, knowing that we could be better. And that thankfully we salvaged the season. We beat NC State, but just want to get your thoughts maybe on last year and what your thoughts are going into this year for Pirate football.
Thoughts going on last year. Like you said, started off rocky start. As being a former player, you really don't ever want to see your team, looking bad. You always want to see us at least competing and trying to upset and win some games. And like I said, we came in and we started with the quarterback Garcia, and not to talk about the young man. Again, it was just turnovers that was killing us a lot. During the early part of the game, and they had to make a change. And they had to make a coaching change. So therefore, there was a lot going on within that one season that players had to go through and coaches had to go through. So for Blake Harrell to finish strong like he did, turn the season around, I say it was a turnaround because it was a winning season. And again, we beat NC State. So in a bowl game. So I look forward. I mean, that was the highlight of the season, is beating NC State in that bowl game. I don't care what nobody says. So that was the highlight of the season. That was the, I was excited. I mean, I'm talking about my blood was pumping when we beat NC State. When the young man, Rajay Harris ran it back. I mean, ran it about 60 yards, and I was like, woo! I was about to bust through the screen. So therefore, I look forward to this season. I know we're young. I know we got a lot of, I think 4 starters returning from offense and maybe 6 starters returning from defense. But I look forward to what Blake Harrell is going to, bring to the table with these young guys. I look forward to the first game because all I've been hearing is, from NC State fans, what they're going to do to us since we beat them in the bowl game. I've never liked State. I'm going to put it out there. Never liked State. So therefore I am a Pirate through and through. So we don't like State. So therefore I will be in attendance at that game on a Thursday night at first game of college. I can't wait to be in that stadium so we can do it again. I mean, I hope we come out and play well. I look forward to the season. I look forward to BYU coming here. I think that's a big game. I think we should sell that out. I know we went to BYU and lost, I want to say by 7 or something like that when we went there. So I look forward to them coming. I just look forward to at least a win. I look for another 8-game year. Hopefully I'm wrong. I hope we win 9 or 10 games, but at least look for us winning 8 games, going to another bowl game, and being successful again, win another bowl game. But that first game, August 28th, I will be in the building, and I look for me and my sons will be in the building. So I look forward to a great game and great competition, and us pull up that upset. I don't want to say an upset. Us doing what we do all the time is beat State. So
that's the thing. That's the thing, Phoenix. You brought up a great point. I think this is just my personal opinion. Nobody except for maybe the guys on this show, maybe the players, so some more Pirate fans, but most people, I saw the line was a couple weeks ago. I haven't checked. I'm not a betting guy, but like 14 points. I thought that was a little high. I thought it would be more like a touchdown, favored, for NC State. But I will say this: I believe wholeheartedly that NC State has more pressure on them. It's
absolutely.
It's the first football game of the year, and it's a Thursday night. The expectations for Dave Dorn are going to be a lot higher, and I'm just curious to see. I don't think that they realize, but John David Baker on offense, Phil Steele said we're going to score, I think he said 33 to 35 points a game. That's what Phil Steele. I'm not Phil Steele, and y'all know that. I'm not David Steele. But I will tell you that if we can score 33 to 35 points a game, can we stop anybody? Phoenix, Coach Hill, Landis, everybody, Coach Evans. That's the ultimate question: is how our defense is going to stack up.
And see, I really didn't get the chance to go to the spring game, so I don't know what our defense looked like.
You didn't miss anything. They're not showing it. It's even worse than normal. Now, they're so worried that they're going to. They didn't mean to cut you off. Sorry, Phoenix, but they because of the transfer portal, it's even worse now. You're not seeing like hardly anything anymore.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I can say this. I know State is geared. I know they're steaming since they lost the bowl game. I know this is one game that they marked on their calendar, but you also got to know that if you're a Pirate, and if you're a Pirate through and through, this game has been it's been on our minds too since we beat y'all in the bowl game. So therefore, I feel like it's going to be just a battle all night long, and hopefully we prevail, but I know it's going to be a battle. And who to say? I mean, first games are always, somebody might be playing sloppy the first game, so therefore it could be a blowout. But I hope it's us. I hope it's us blowing them out. So therefore, I'm not going to say we're going to win, but I'm going to say that I hope we come out and compete, and we do, and I hope we do prevail and get that W on August the 28th.
Well, Phoenix, I'll tell you one thing: if we beat them on the 28th, it's going to be a riot. Coach Hill knows what I'm talking about. It's going to be a riot. And I say that sarcastically, tongue in cheek, but they'll find a way to play a national schedule and schedule Furman. No offense, Furman. But they'll that's what they did in the past. And, they said they were playing a national schedule. And of course, East Carolina couldn't be on there because they had to have AA teams, not knocking AA because we've had the FCS level. We've had a couple teams to come in here.
Oh yeah,
they beat us. So I'm not knocking.
That's right.
But my point is, when we beat Carolina 3 straight times, Phoenix, and you notice the Tar Heels won't schedule us anymore.
Hey, so I'm glad you said that, David. And, the thing I think about, and you're right. So we keep winning, we keep beating them. They're going to keep us off the schedule because they're like, we can't keep losing to East Carolina, and that's the way to keep from playing them. I feel like we should play the in-state. We should play all state rivals. We should We should play the Carolinas every year. We should play NC State every year. We should play Duke every year.
Every year.
It don't matter what stadium you at, there or at ECU, is going to bring a crowd. So therefore, you can't say it's not a money maker because it makes a lot of money, but it doesn't make sense. It don't make sense to them because they're continuously losing to us. It's like, hey, well, why East Carolina not in the ACC? That's a thought. Like, if we winning, we keep beating the States, the Dukes, the Carolinas. It's like, well, why they're not in this conference? But
yep, they don't want this university, a great Pirate Purple and Gold university, east of 95, to get any recognition. Correct. That's why they don't want us to play them, and that's why you hit it right on there. Along with Dave and Kyle and all these guys have been talking about for 7 years on here, they don't want to play us when we beat them. That shows we can compete in the ACC.
Correct.
Boom.
And you know something? One of the things, Phoenix, I don't know how much time you have tonight, but we're going to do a roundtable. But I would love your thoughts on when we're talking about NIL and a lot of crazy stuff that's going on in our world, and how we have to, whether we like it or not, we have to embrace it. But
I hate to catch you up there, but now, so my daughter's getting heavily recruited for basketball. So just going into different coaches' offices, it's already off top, like what money we can pay you. We can do this. When I was getting recruited, it won't never no money throw it out there what we can pay you. So I'm like, what you mean? What money you can pay? And we can give her extra $8,000 or something. I'm like, okay, so this how it works now. So it's definitely different. I mean, you definitely going into a different genre of college students getting paid. Again, y'all, I think y'all just saw is it Georgia paying $20,000 to keep their commitments to be committed to stay committed to attending the school. So $20,000 a month, something like that there. So that
unbelievable.
You can't compete. Not saying, well, you know what I'm saying, SEC schools, Big Ten schools that got a lot of money, and saying, you know, lower level schools can't compete with continuously keeping a commitment if you got a SEC or ACC or a Big Ten coming after them after we done recruited them and got them committed, because they're gonna say we can offer you this. What young man or young lady that's already probably struggling, maybe struggling, where they staying at now and say, oh, mom and dad, oh, by the way, they're gonna give me $20,000 a month if I stay committed to them. Oh, we jumping ship, we leaving ECU, we jumping ship, we going to Georgia.
We're going to Athens, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, you know, that's the thing is that you bring up that great point, but I also think, Coach, to all the coaches on the show right now, I do believe we're talking about baseball. I do believe that we can compete at the highest levels. And I was talking about, to be fair to you, Phoenix, and being a former football player, football is I'm stating the obvious, a completely different animal. Like baseball, we can throw out some money and we might be able to get some donors, but you're right about, you know, they have with the revenue sharing, they have a cap now. Imagine this. Imagine if we had $20.5 million for the football team, Phoenix.
Yeah.
$20.5 million for the football team for NIL. I mean, the number is just so high. I know I went to East Carolina. I'm not a math guy, but wow, that's a high number.
Very high. I mean, again, if you're going to do it like that, I mean, I'm not, you know, the big wigs or who running the NCAA, but if you're going to, you know, shell out money like that from big schools, you got to have an even playing field. Allow other schools to be able to shell out money as well like that, so they can compete.
That's true.
Yeah, it seems like it's creating almost a monopoly on it.
Yep.
I mean,
well, with that type of money, Phoenix, have you already used up your 4 years?
I mean, my 4 years are gone.
But hey, I know I've got 4 years for football. Landis, you got 4 years?
I got 4 years. I mean,
Dave, come on, Dave. You got 4 years?
I do. I'm just going to, what I'm going to do, I'll be I was going to say a bad word. I'll be a tackling dummy for $20,000 a month.
I will go out there tomorrow, and I'll go ahead and register now.
The only problem is, Phoenix, I work at the medical center, and reality starting to come in. I might have about $50,000 a month of medical bills I have to worry about. So I'll be losing money. I need to stay where I am.
Exactly. Well, you know now kids are staying in school because they're making money. I mean, they're making more money than if they come out to get a regular job, right, just by staying in school. Just with guys that have potential to go to the NBA, NFL. Some of them are staying in school an extra year because they're probably making, you know, what was it, Shador or Sanders made about $4.5 million at Colorado.
Yeah.
So he made more at Colorado than he got from his signing bonus at Cleveland. So
yeah, that's what happened with Cooper Flagg at Duke. He was making Gatorade and New Balance. I forgot, it was 4, 8, 10. I've heard different amounts, million, just to play basketball for 1 year. And the kid was just turned 18 in December.
That's retirement money. $8 million.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
You're right. If you do it right, you don't even have to do anything ever again. $10 million.
You know, time has changed when they was, you know, when LeBron James came out, he didn't go to school, but when when he had the Hummer sitting in front of the projects, and they gave him $100 million. Nike gave him $100 million before he even stepped on court to play in the NBA game. So, you heard all that noise, how that social buzz went, and he was, they was just trying to, just destroy the man. But now, like you said, now people getting 4.87 million here, there to, come play a year or two in college. But again, like you said, back then we couldn't get paid, but now, I mean, I don't knock it, because I was a student athlete in college, and I know how broke we were.
Yeah.
But I also know that kids that with that tight money, that never had that tight money, you got to have some type of plan to control them, or not control them, but keep them guided and grounded, because now it's like I can go out here and do what I got. I got enough money to do whatever I want to do. So
that's one question I have that just popped in thanks to Phoenix is, do we have, and maybe I don't know, people that are listening or watching right now, help me, but do we have like people behind the scenes? I know that there's NIL people and all that, but I'm talking about like to say, okay, Cooper Flag, you just made this amount of money from New Balance or from Gatorade, and I know he has his parents and everything, but it seems like to me there's got to be people behind the scenes on the average everyday guy that's getting some NIL. Maybe he's not making the millions of dollars, but it's easy to blow that money when you've never had that kind of money before.
I did hear where there was a lot of people are starting to get into financial advisors for college students due to this NIL thing. So I'm pretty sure a lot of them got financial advisors now. So
I hope so, because I'm telling you, I could tell you what I'll be doing at 18 years old. I know what Coach Hill was doing at 18 years old. I'm pretty sure I know what Landis was doing at 18 years old. And you start having that kind of $8-10 million. How about what was that Texas quarterback? I remember a few years ago that went to Ohio State. They gave him this big bucket loads of money, and he never panned out. I think he might have gone back to Texas. I can't remember, but it's like all these players you're hearing about. You hear about the stars, but you don't hear about the ones that were flops that didn't make it, or they didn't even get on the field and they were paid like a couple $1 million. That's all.
Dave, I thought I was rich when we went on away games and we would get a per diem, for college of $25 a day. I was like, oh my gosh.
Paul played back in the 1930s, Phoenix.
That would have been $10 a day.
A lot of money. That would have been a lot of money back then. My great grandfather made, I think selling shoes, my dad's grandfather made like $30 a week back in the late 20s, 30s. Like it was amazing how, $30 was a lot of money back then. And you're going, $30. Oh my God.
All I know is, and I'm sure I speak for every one of us, if I had the opportunity as a athlete at any type of sport to make that type of money, how can you not get up every morning and excited about going to class?
I would have been so motivated.
Oh, I would be tickled. I would stay after. I did it anyway without this. I'd stay after practice. I'd take extra swings. Man, I would, Coach, what else can I do for you?
Yeah.
You want me to take you out to eat?
Yeah. Man, I would be contacting everybody. I mean, I was already very motivated, like you were saying.
Same here. But if I had that motivation, Landis, come on.
I mean, no doubt. I would have been posting everything on social media, every home run I hit, every guy I threw out, everything. Man.
It's just crazy the amount of money. But I do think that for the people that think it's gloom and doom for East Carolina, I don't think it's gloom and doom.
No.
I think I'll tell you what it comes down to is there was an article, I wish I'd saved it, guys, but there was an article several years ago I read about Cincinnati. Everybody was like, oh, Cincinnati. Well, guess what? They had a master plan, and they started building, how we're building the buildings now, the indoor practice facility. We've got the baseball expansion, team expansion. We did spend $1 million for basketball, different things. Well, they were working on their program for a decade before they came to light as far as this powerhouse, football team, and to move on to the quote unquote Power 5, which is now 4. And so that's what we have to do. We have to get it together. We have to continue to build like we're doing. We talked about a lot of ideas we had last week. We're going to have to work really, really hard. But Pirates, we've always done more with less. We don't have the $100 million that North Carolina does in their budget, but we have like half that, right? So it's not like we're poor. I just think that it comes down to a mindset. Like all three of you guys, I admire and respect a lot because you'll put in a lot of time in the weight room. You put a lot of time in practice. You do a great job as coaches. And that's what we've got to have is we've got to have the players. We're going to have to spend a lot of money, but we also have to be careful, like you talked about, Coach Hill, about we got to make sure these guys are worth the money we're spending on them. We have an edge rusher. We got to, I think it was last night, a really good 3-star player.
Yeah.
Really good, excited about that for next year's class. So one of the things I was going to say I know about, and I can speak highly, I know all three of you. I know Phoenix the less, but I know that your reputation precedes you about a great coach you are. But but it's like when you listen to these players of today, and I'm listening to them, they're players right now that even though we're new school, they'll run through a brick wall for you because they bought in, they believe in you, they know what kind of man you are or woman. If we had women coaches on right now, I would say the same thing. And so the thing for me is what I'm getting at, you look at a Blake Harrell, they would not run, and I like Coach Houston, so let me make it very clear. People thought I was crazy, but he was a good guy. The problem is I felt like, I don't know how you guys did, but I was at the Charlotte game. I was on the field after the game. It felt like he lost the players. I'm just going to be blunt now because it's over with. I didn't say it during last season. And you look at the way that Coach, and you Coach Hill, I think Phoenix and Landis, I know you have. You go to a practice now with Blake Harrell, it's like night and day, man. It is like night and day the way it used to be. It was almost like the players were scared to make a mistake, even at practice. They were not having fun. And now you got a coach now with Blake Harrell that, hey, I want to play for this guy because this guy I'm having fun at practice. I'm having fun on the field. Just like Phoenix talked about, hey, we're beating NC State in a bowl game. Are you kidding me?
Oh, yeah.
I swear to you, I forgot to say this early, Phoenix, when you were talking about when Rajay Harris ran that back. I swear to you, I looked all over the field. I kept looking over the field because I thought they were going to throw a flag. I really, even though I didn't see anything, you know how that is with the ACC. Those officials, they're going to make sure. I hate to say that, but and when I didn't see any flags, I was like, I looked at my son and daughter and said, I can't believe it. There's no flags. They looked at me. I said, there's no penalties.
Hey, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Dave. I'm sorry.
No, that was just the main thing. But just talking about the fact, I wanted y'all to talk about that, about the belief, I guess, the buy-in. But one of the things I forgot to say earlier, I just realized I wanted to make that point, is that buy your season tickets, by the way.
Absolutely.
We are going to do well. And, Coach Hill, I think you'll do a picture with him. Maybe Phoenix will get pictures with you, sign autographs so they buy season tickets.
Okay.
Hey, Dave, let me comment on the energy that coaching staff over Coach Harrell and those guys did. I called up Landis one day. I said, hey, I'm heading out to the football spring practice. Can you go with me? He says, hey, can we get in? And I had made some phone calls, and we got out there. We had they took care of us, and I got contact with Coach Shankweiler, and I coached his son Court back in the day at Jades Rose. We were out there, Landis and I, and Phoenix, you know what I'm talking about. The energy and synergy on that football field. Mm-hmm. I got excited, and I was just standing there watching. I sent a video, Dave, on the group. I don't know if you can show that, of the intense after. Now, you got to remember, they practiced about 3 or 4 hours. Maybe I'm exaggerating, but it was long. They still had energy to get jacked up for the coach, and that's what they were doing. We were standing right there, and I'm like, I want to go play for Coach right now. Suit me up. Let's do it. But that's the energy that he brings to this coaching staff and football program. And that all the football players I've had a chance to talk to, from baseball season to the ones that came out to my school, talked to my class at a Grifton school, They are jacked and ready to go. They love playing for Coach. They love playing for him. So I've seen that firsthand. And Landis, I mean, explain what you saw.
Yeah, it was like the momentum was carried from that big bowl win against State. I mean, we were out there. I was like, Paul, I'm like, Joe, I'm ready to go. Like, let's get on the field right now. Like, I was amped. It was unbelievable. Like the energy, the guys. It was, it wasn't Coach yelling at them to move. It was they were already ahead of the game. What are we gonna do next? They knew what to do. There was a structure to it. There was a flow to the practice. It was amazing, really. It was actually great.
Phoenix went to the refrigerator to get something to eat.
He's getting back up ready to play.
He's going to get his shoulder pads. He was looking in the closet. He was blowing the dust off of them.
Hey, I haven't had the chance. I'm be honest with you, I haven't had the chance to meet Coach Harold yet. I mean, I've heard some great things about him. Like I said, just as I was saying earlier, David, just to be able to change the season and the momentum around after switching the quarterback up, after switching a head coach and being an interim coach and be able to win 8 games and win a bowl game like that they did. That's a testament to him and his staff. So, and then to hear Coach Hill and Landis say how the practice facility and the practices went and how energetic the guys is, I can only imagine what type of guy he is. So therefore, if you got guys wanting to play for him, that's how it is. I mean, you got guys that come in. Again, I mean, I know it's all about money, but if you got a coach that coach want to play for, it ain't always got to be about the money. You just got to.
That's right. That's exactly right.
A great man that's going to treat you right, and like I said, I've heard great things about him, so I'm looking forward to meeting him soon. But again, I'm looking forward to meeting him, and I'm looking forward to the season. Like I said, I don't know what we're gonna do, but I'm looking forward to a great season. So,
hey, Phoenix, I'll tell you really quick. We were talking about, speaking of money, and I was talking about that big number. I think Florida State spent $20 million, and you saw what their results were. So you could spend a lot of money. Yes, on a whole bunch of players.
Yeah,
hyped up. And I tell you one thing, what I see right now, and maybe I don't know. I know we're about at time, but I wanted to say this. I feel like that we've got East Carolina football back on the right track. It's healthy. I feel like, and Phoenix, when you played, it's like Paul said, it's like Coach said, there's a chip on our shoulder, and some teams we've had that's been missing, and you have to know the part of who we are as a Pirate, and they're going to disrespect us. They're going to, say, even when they get their tail beat, like a Carolina player did back in 2018, we're still better than you. Well, you just got your butt beat on the field, and you're going to say we're still better than you? Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, they always think that even though they lose, they still think, oh, we just blew. It's a fluke. It's a fluke. They shouldn't have beat us.
Yeah, we got lucky or something.
They got lucky.
Yep.
Again, like you said, David, we always got to have a chip. We always got to be ready to play. We had that model anywhere, anyone, anytime.
Yes, sir.
And it's got to be like that. It's got to be like that every year, through and through, Pirate through and through. No matter who we play, I don't care if it's the Campbells. Not knocking on the Campbells, but we can't, like I said, we can't play low to a team because we think we're gonna beat them, and then play high to a team that we think, they might be better than us, but we're gonna upset them. So we got to just play and had that chip on our shoulder throughout the year, throughout every game, every game we play this year. So,
yeah, we want to put it up back on the screen. I'm trying to type Landis, but for Phoenix 7, former East Carolina football player under Coach Logan, we want to put up the camp if we can. And thank you, Phoenix, for being on with us an hour. You're welcome back anytime you want to come on. Maybe we can have you back on before your season starts, so we can talk about your team. You're Epps, right? Epps Middle School.
Well, I'm at Pac-Tolis Middle, but I'm coaching at South Central. I coach at South Central. I coach that football team. And I coach the girls basketball team. So,
all right, I learned that. All right, so there's the camp again. It's going to be at South Central, the 26th to the 28th. Lots of great activities, including flag football, boys and girls 6 to 14. And I'm telling you, folks, only $60 to have a local camp. by the people that are going to be out there. We'll forgive Phoenix by inviting Coach Hill out there, but but there are going to be a lot of guys out. I'm just joking. Coach Hill, he'd probably coach. That's the thing about coaching. What people don't understand, it is about the X's and O's, but it's more than that. It's more than knowing the game,
motivating those kids,
right? And that's why Phoenix has been as successful as he has, Landis and Coach. But again, only $60, and we have that up on the screen. We'll put that back on social media as well for you, Coach.
Appreciate it.
And I'll try to see if there's any way I can get my boy out there, because I can promise you, if he could, he would. Coach Hill knows he would practice 24 hours a day, and that's not because of me being a little league parent. It's because how much he loves the games, plural. How much he loves athletics. So. Anyway, thank you so much for coming on. It means a lot. Definitely don't be a stranger. We'll try to get you back. It probably won't be 4 or 5 years. It'll definitely be in a few weeks maybe, but love to have you back on, and love to know how the camp goes. And of course, we'll have Coach Hill to give a recap as well. But we appreciate you coming on and spending time with us, and good luck with the camp. I know it's going to be a lot of fun, and a lot of Gatorade and a lot of water. I'll tell people that in the hot sun in Greenville, North Carolina in June.
Got to stay hydrated. Yes, I appreciate it, and thank you for having me.
Sure thing. All right. Appreciate you, Landis. You can take that off now. We'll have that up for Coach. And again, Coach, thanks so much. If you need anything, we're always here for you. And by the way, in December, I don't know if you know this yet, but in December, we're going to have not only Phoenix Evans, and I'll be there, and Landis will be there, but Paul Hill's Champions. He's got a very special guest. We'll tell you off the air. I don't want to, but it's a big name. We already have another new name that he's added to the list. So I want to know if Coach told you, but it's big time. So I'll just tease everybody. Make sure you get your tickets for Paul Hill's.
It's kind of like Coach George Whitfield says, if you want to know who's getting inducted, show up and you'll find out.
All right. Yeah, it's going to be a great night, but that'll be in December. We'll have you on way before then. But thanks again, man. Appreciate it so much.
All right. Thank you, David.
All right.
Hey, love you, buddy.
I love you, Coach Hill. Nice meeting you, Landis.
Yeah, nice to meet you, Phoenix.
We'll see you again soon. All right. So, guys, I don't know about you guys, but it is like rocking and rolling outside. It's a bad
I was getting ready to say, I just looked at my phone, and I'm like, if there's nothing but red. Hey, Landis down on Highway 102, is it red there too?
It's red and it's lightning outside right now, so I can the whole orchard just lit up. So
all right. There goes.
Oh, wait a minute. Hey, what about some pecan news?
Yeah. So I don't know if Phoenix knows that, but down here Billy's Nut House on 102. We do a lot of pecans here. Let me share this screen here for you. They've done mine.
Hey, Phoenix, I'll get Coach Landis to bring some of those for you to try. They're once you won't eat one, you'll eat the whole bag there.
Wow. Okay.
Seriously, I'm not kidding you.
Yeah, so we do all fresh pecans from our orchard here in Eastern North Carolina. Our orchards around there. We do we use Ghirardelli chocolate, vanilla on everything as well. There's some lightning right there.
Yeah. Oh, I had the same one.
But yeah, we do dark chocolate. We got Mexican dark chocolate, cinnamon roll. Dave's got them at the Snack Shack in Williamston, which is a cool joint that just had the grand opening, right, Dave?
On Thursday, yeah. We're down to, as a matter of fact, Landis gave us some samples and we bought some bags from him. I think we have 3 bags left. We sold a whole bunch. So, and soon to be, I hope, in the small shop, Paula Mobley in Main Street in Williamston, because that's the kind of stuff she has. So.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to trying them. Looking forward to trying them.
I'm gonna get some for you.
Okay.
I'll get you some of that cinnamon roll. Those are our favorite.
That's a great start. That's a great start, Kit.
Yeah.
To get used to them for sure. All right, guys, we'll get out of here. We'll be back next Sunday nights. Appreciate all you guys being on. And do you have any final thoughts, Coach?
Which one? You got 3.
Coach Hill. Sorry, Coach Hill.
Coach Hill. Hey, I just want to thank Dave for getting this together, and Landis, you're getting everything together, and of course our dear guest Coach Evans, doing a great community. Doing some football camps, and as Dave had said several times, $60. And we will say this. I think Phoenix, if this is okay. If you're having trouble getting the money up, at least call Coach Evans and see what he can do for you. He's that type of person. Sometimes he calls me up and says, "Hey, Coach, with sponsorships and things like that." And the first one, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, man, let me see," and it always works out. He does a great job. His cause is off the chain, and when it's dealing with our community and our backyard and young people, you can sign me up anytime. So thank you, Phoenix, for allowing me to be part of the greatness that you're doing.
I appreciate it, Coach. Thank you for always, when I call and I need a hand, you're always there. So I appreciate you, Coach Hill.
Thank you.
All right, Coach Wilson, you got anything?
Oh yeah, just we're baseball guys, but I love football too. So I hope the momentum keeps up. Like coaches were saying, the momentum was incredible at the practice. So I'm just excited to see that. I hope they, knock out State. Like Coach Evans was saying, I always love seeing them beat State. But nice to meet you, Coach. And I think it's awesome that you're doing that type of event at South Central. It changes a lot of people's lives more than you know. So
it does.
That's awesome.
I appreciate that, Coach Wilson.
Yep.
You got anything, Coach Evans, before we get out of here? We'll sign off.
Again, like I said, thanks, Dave, for having me. Thanks for promoting the camp. Again, I look forward to being back on the show. Every time I had a great time tonight. Great time with you all tonight. So, again, thank you all.
All right. Until next week, hopefully you guys will be safe this week. Happy Father's Day to everyone.
Absolutely.
Happy Father's Day.
Before we get out of here, we lost a few music legends this week. Brian Wilson, from Sly and the Family Stone. Those two guys come to mind. So thoughts and prayers with the family. And thank goodness we have their great music that will live for their legacy. But those are two big losses in the music world. But until next time, hope you have a great week. Stay safe. Stay out of the storms tonight if you're in Eastern North Carolina. And as always, go Pirates.
You're watching The Sports Objective, the podcast for Pirates.